And this becomes a game of the mind, and this becomes a game of the mind, and this becomes a game of the mind, and this becomes a game of the mind. Welcome to the news, welcome to the news, welcome to the news. So this edition's a little bit unique. It's a little bit interesting. It's called an arbitrage transformer suit. It's called an arbitrage transformer suit. The name of this episode is arbitrage transformer suit, and the reason is because we're all playing this game, and it's a little bit confusing, but it's a little bit relevant and necessary to be able to try to revisit this conceptualization of a transformer suit. It's something I've mentioned a couple times in past episodes, but it's something worth revisiting, and the reason being is because we're all playing this game anyways. We're all playing this global game. We're all playing this global game. It's called hearts and feels and emotions and connections through this interconnection and this interpersonalization that is interpersonalized to all of us, known as emotions. Emotions is what connects all human beings at this current time, in this place, in this space, and known as Earth, because we all have emotions, and those are all electricity impulses. Those are all have to do with chemistry. Those all have to do with our systems. Those are our systems. That's systematization. That is our system that we are wired for within the internal systems of our human beings, of our nature, of our existence. So we are humans. We are systems. The point being is all those systems are connected to nature as well. All these systems are connected to each other. We are a large, giant system. It's not just money is one system and humanity is another system. It's not just money is one system and humanity is another system. It is not that one system is money and another system is humanity. They are all connected. So we are all connected. We are very connected to the money system. The money system is very connected to humanity. The purpose of saying that, the interest of saying that, the purpose of bringing this up is because it's very obvious and apparent that these two things are completely separate. They're completely separate. And in my opinion, this causes a little bit of a dilemma, a significant dilemma, a huge dilemma, a giant dilemma, an enormous dilemma, a significant issue that needs to be addressed in this podcast specifically. We will address the issue that is the disconnection between money, the money system, and humanity, humans, and the emotion system, for example. And so it's relevant to be able to bring this up and to be able to identify this and to be able to try to conceptualize this, because for the simple purpose that is the reason for DINKY, TehC, and Change for Game Studios is to unify these two energies, unify these two system spaces. It's to unify these two processes to be able to be understood as one giant ecosystem, and therefore, as time moves on, I think it's harder and harder to avoid this issue. It's harder and harder to avoid this concept. It's harder and harder to avoid this truth. It's harder and harder to avoid the idea that we are one with the monetary energy system. Humans are exactly directly one-to-one with the monetary energy system, and that is why in the last episode it was called God's Money, because it is God's money, because it's meant for all humanity, and that is the nature of it. It's because it's supposed to be, in quotes, God's energy. I'm not a religious person, but it therefore reflects upon God's energy, because in essence, God's energy is an essence of energy that has to do with creation of all human beings and all emotions and all systems in the whole world. And therefore, if it's God's money, it's God's energy. It's therefore all people's energy. It's therefore supposed to be shared among all people and all humans and all humanity. So therefore, it's relevant to be able to acknowledge this and be able to try to spread all of this energy throughout all humans and all humans and all humans and all humans and humanity, and not separate monetary energy from human energy, for example, because this is actually the lifeline for many human beings in this day and age. So what we have to try to do in correcting the future, because we invented money, and that was a good thing in the past because it developed systems. It developed systematization in terms of prioritization and incentivization for future humans from the time that it started, and innovation and revolutions and such things that have caused technological shifts. But now we find ourselves in the present time, in the current day, and what we got to do with the current day time is be able to acknowledge that we're playing a game, and now in this episode we're trying to acknowledge it further, because that's the whole purpose of our brand, DINKY, TehC, and Change for Game Studios, is to develop, or to acknowledge the game, and to also acknowledge the philanthropy global energy grid, and that's what DINKY, TehC, and Change for Game Studios is. It's a giant world platform. It is a giant world platform that connects all human beings, so that all human beings are understood that they are connected by transformer suits. And in essence, what DINKY, TehC, and Change for Game Studios is, it's a symbol for a giant social media platform. In essence, that connects all human beings through their transformer suits. Their transformer suits are things that are innate within the DINKY, TehC, and Change for Game Studios ecosystem, which means that all human beings are given a transformer suit. 8 billion transformer suits exist already, right now, right this second, in the DINKY, TehC, and Change for Game Studios realm, which is the company that we are building, which is the company that we have built, which is the company who owns the podcast that you're listening to at the current time right now. And the reason this is relevant is because all human beings have the ability to be able to merge with this transformer suit, and what the positive aspect of this transformer suit is, it's an acknowledgement of entrepreneurship. It's an acknowledgement element of entrepreneurship, the game. And entrepreneurship, the game, has to do with a mindset. A mindset is what controls it. A mindset is what the portfolio is. You have a portfolio of assets in this world, and that portfolio comes down to attention. Attention. You have a direct line of attention. It is one attention. You only have one attention. Basically, you cannot split that into two attentions. So as a humanity, you have one attention, and that's one line. So therefore, that is what controls the vehicle of the transformer suit. And it's very important to just be able to acknowledge this mentality, this understanding of what entrepreneurship is to begin with, which has to do with philanthropy energy at the back end of it. Philanthropy energy is at the back end of entrepreneurship, in essence. But going back to the entrepreneurship suit and going back to the transformer suit, that basically, in essence, the transformer suit is only good. It's only positive. You can only win when you merge with the transformer suit, when you merge with the mentality of entrepreneurship, when you merge with the transformer suit. You can only win because you either earn money, which is monetary energy, or you can learn. So you either learn or you earn. You earn or you learn. And with this mindset, with this mentality, it's possible to continue to grow assets. It's possible to continue to grow forward and go forward, and to continue to try to grow assets, and build mental assets, which in essence is the game of the transformer mentality and such things, which unites all human beings, because in essence, it's very important to have this mentality. And yes, the purpose of acknowledging this transformer suit is because the future is very peculiar, it's very uncertain, it's very strange because of technology, the way it's unfolding, it's exponentially expanding with AI, artificial intelligence. It's very peculiar indeed. So, just by acknowledging this, that the future is entrepreneurship. In essence, it's solving problems, and using systematization, and adding on top of the transformer suit to be able to better your own transformer suit. And everybody has no ability but to be able to grow their alter ego, basically to be able to try to grow and expand upon the transformer suit powers and technology, to be able to use all technology in the world to be able to make their own characters. Everybody is their own paradigm, in essence, in the future, which is now in the future. Yeah, take your time, do your thing. So at the same time, you can go ahead and just do whatever you need to do with your transformer suit, because you have no ability to lose. That's the purpose of the transformer suit. That's the purpose of acknowledging it, because you either learn or you earn. Because you sell things, you make a brand, and that brand is linear with your cause of the types of things that you want to sell, just like we're trying to sell to everybody, acknowledging that there is a global giving philanthropy energy grid, and we're trying to develop that single-handedly by doing this podcast, and acknowledging that this podcast is connecting all human beings to transformer suits, basically. And at the same time, one of the biggest messages to be able to try to acknowledge and give away and push forward in this podcast is to be able to stop wasting energy, because wasting energy has to do with not acknowledging the global philanthropy energy grid. The philanthropy energy grid has to do with acknowledging that all human beings and emotions and nature and the economy system are connected, in essence. So when people feel like wasting and indulging in money and spending and splurging on themselves, they are taking away from the global energy grid. They're taking away from other humans having the ability to improve their lives and such things. So by acknowledging the philanthropy energy global energy grid, which also connects 8 billion transformer suits, every single human being that's alive, then it connects the ability to be able to understand and to have empathy for every other human being in the world. And also, when you understand that it's like energy, literally money, every single dollar has to do with money, the energy that's connected to all other human beings. If there's that innate understanding, right now the problem is, in my opinion, it's significantly a problem that everybody in the world acknowledges currency, and different currencies. And what these are, they're brands. They are brands. Every currency is a brand. And so now that's what DINKY Tech and Transfer Game Studios is trying to do, is unify all the brands of currency into one giant unified energy, which is a philanthropic energy global energy grid. It's the philanthropic energy global energy grid, which unites all human beings. It connects all human beings in the world by a giant philanthropic energy global giving grid, because, and this is very important, because it takes away the ability or the necessity to be able to splurge, for people to think that they can just splurge because they're part of one brand or another, because they're heavy in USD, US dollar currency, whereas they're part of a global philanthropic energy grid. As at the current time, right now, the US dollar is pegged to the US dollar, which is a brand. It's a brand. It is a brand. Every single currency is a brand. Every type of currency, including cryptocurrency, is a brand. People are investing in different brands. These are brands. So the point being, and in the meantime, the USD is a strong brand, and it's been held up for a long time, but it's a brand. That's the bottom line. Gold is a brand. Every essence of value is a brand. So the point being is that this is all meant to come together so that everybody, the purpose of money, like in last episode, it's called the gods energy. Money is God's energy, in essence. Money is God's money, is what I meant to say. So that means it's all human beings. All human beings are connected to money. And that is the purpose. That is the primary purpose of this episode, is understanding that the purpose of merging with the Transformer suit is understanding the essence, of entrepreneurship by acknowledging the Transformer suit and being able to step into the powers that the Transformer suit allow, which is connecting with all human beings and humanity. That's the purpose of DINKY Tech and Change for Game Studios, is understanding the purpose of connecting all human beings and humanity by connecting the Transformer suits of 8 billion people into one currency mentality. It's not exactly a currency, it's just an energy that has to do with the philanthropy energy, global philanthropy energy grid, which is signified and symbolized by an ice rink that's in the sky, that's a generation machine that's symbolized by the logo for DINKY Tech, which is a 3D3 POD engine, which just has to do with recycling and consistently repurposing and trying to rebuild philanthropy energy for more human beings to be able to live off of. But it's very relevant, necessary, and important for all human beings to acknowledge not just the Transformer suits and not just the fact that there is no loss attached to the Transformer suits, which has to do with acknowledging entrepreneurship to begin with, and acknowledging the powers of that to begin with, because that has to do with giving to human beings, giving to all humanity in the world, and therefore being part of the global philanthropy energy grid. And therefore, it's acknowledging that there is one world currency, and that's human frequency, that's human energy, that's human emotion. That is the currency. That is, in essence, the primary currency within philanthropy energy and DINKY Tech and Change for Game Studios and the whole world, is to be able to acknowledge this one giant energy which connects monetary energy and human energy, which is emotional energy, all at the same time. And this is connected by an energy known as the philanthropy energy global giving grid, because that is what DINKY Tech and Change for Game Studios was invented for, to be able to connect all humans to a giant singular everybody in the world benefits program and system and process for everybody to be able to benefit from technology of entrepreneurship, benefit from the technology of where we're at today, benefit from global collective mindset where everybody benefits in essence and has the ability to work and benefit from everybody's ongoing continuous efforts and such things. And by understanding that we're all connected and there is no currency brand that's actually real other than the fact that we're all connected into one giant human energy pool, then it stops splurging, it stops indulging, it stops the mindset which is toxic, that people think that they are entitled to be able to splurge and buy sports cars and buy things that are just very toxic. And they're toxic because they take away from other humans in the world that can be given other monetary energy. It's not just that simple. So it's two things. Basically, it's trying to focus on and identify the Transformer suit, which you can only win with because you consistently are trying to either sell things and learn or earn by either trying to sell things and failing and continuing to learn and build a brand because your brand is working towards solving problems in the world. That's the purpose of a Transformer suit. And you have all these tools. Like on Shopify, for example, there's all these tools on Shopify, all these applications on Shopify that are attachments that are like attachments to your Transformer suit. A Transformer suit is like becoming a robot because you're understanding that as a robot, you're connected to this giant grid. And at the same time, this is positive because you cannot lose because you can just learn or earn. But if you disconnect from that, if you mentally disconnect from that whole entire grid, then you're disconnecting the ability to be able to provide value to the rest of humanity in essence. Whereas that's kind of like, it's like being selfish. It's like having a family and the whole family is working towards each other and helping each other in essence, but you're one outlier of the family and you don't care necessarily, even though that family raised you and that family put in a lot of time, effort, and energy to be able to raise and make sure that you didn't die as a young person, and not being able to care about that in later life. It's like wrong. It's like treason. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any legitimate sense. And to a certain degree, there's a certain level of obligation, of balance, where that makes sense for that to fall within reason. And so for this very reason, it's just talking about the global family and the ability for all people to enjoy their Transformer suits, to enjoy their ride and their ability to be able to enjoy a Transformer suit and use it just like fun, because all of this world, for the philanthropy energy world, the DINKY Tech and Change for Game Studios is about fun. It's about using toys. It's about making the world out of toys. It's about making everything toys in the world so everybody can play together. Everybody's able to play together, but this has also got to revolve around a specific monetary energy that's equitable for all people to be able to benefit from. And that has to do with the philanthropy energy, global energy grid. We're not trying to make a currency here. We're trying to make a global system that has to do with all people being able to acknowledge the powers that each other can give to each other by acknowledging the right power and the right frequency to be able to acknowledge expanding this energy that has to do with monetary energy, which is an invention, as well as inventing a new distribution system for that invention to be able to expand and do its best good for the purpose that it was invented for to begin with, which is to be able to try to provide for and develop value for all human beings in the world. And so by trying to be able to continue and consistently do that with all the human beings' collective effort and energy in the world, that's the best chance that we have, because we can't do it without each other, and we have to continue to use ourselves times technology to be able to continue to expand the process in the world to be able to benefit everyone in the best, most optimized process possible. And therefore, acknowledging the transformer suits of all 8 billion people in the world acknowledges that their ability exists to be all entrepreneurs. People have the ability to be entrepreneurs by trying to give the most value to the world that is possible, by using the tools that are in the world, by researching, understanding that everybody's an investor and a seller at the same time, because they can invest and they can sell and continue to align with their brand and their brand values and places that they want the world to go in, the best world that they can foresee for themselves and everybody else, so that it's collectively a family beneficial process, and that therefore includes everybody in this global ecosystem mentality mindset, as opposed to excluding people, which is very much something that happens when people just don't understand necessarily. They stand on the outside because they don't understand the ecosystem, and they need to be shown necessarily. But that's the purpose of DINKY TehC and Change for Game Studios as a brand, is to try to be able to guide people into the process of understanding the conceptual ability to be able to unfold these understanding, these gifts that is a transformer suit. The transformer suit is supposed to take care of all people. It's supposed to take care of all people because entrepreneurship as an energy, as a whole, is something. It's a gift from humanity, from the world, to be able to continue to contribute to the global ecosystem. And once there's that fundamental understanding, once there's that fundamental connection and connectivity with the roots of the transformer suit, then it's like an automatic understanding, basically, just like the understanding of breathing, the understanding of walking next to a family when you're walking down the street, to be able to continue to walk with each other and not separate from each other, to continue to keep that energy together and whole. It's like the same thing with all of humanity, especially as technology unfolds and things get weirder and weirder as life goes on, that we need to be able to stick together as humanity more than ever, and be able to leverage all of our strengths to be able to strengthen everybody else in the whole world, basically, and be able to move towards philanthropy. Philanthropy is the energy that connects and provides for all human beings in the future. And it's not about separation. It's not about segregation. It's not about people thinking that they're better than each other because they sold something more on Shopify than other, or more on TikTok than other people. It doesn't work that way. Life isn't supposed to work that way. People aren't supposed to be able to indulge. Indulging is toxic. Indulging is very, very toxic, because it takes away the power of monetary energy and it distributes it in ways that are just not meant to be distributed. In essence, that is a very toxic concept, and it's very ideal to be able to make all people to be able to have fun, and try to connect all people to be able to have fun, by connecting all people to be able to try to have fun, by making the most toys possible for the most people possible, and trying to have awareness for every single human being on Earth at all given times, to be able to try to spread energy to all of them at all given times in the best ways possible, and the best vibes and energy, so that all people are able to try to heal, and like use and leverage the future of technology in a similar fashion like never before, like including Neuralink, for example, is able to tap into the subconscious and the core and be able to use attention to actually control things, control the body, control the mind. And that's like the future of humanity anyways, is to be able to use attention to control the vehicle, which is like a transformer suit. That is like a vehicle, and that's controlling the ability to move in one direction or another, in essence. So that's what the transformer suit is all about as well, is combining with the Neuralink mentality, combining with the future of where the things are going anyways, because like Grok 4, which is Elon Musk's company, just made like the most advancements in the AI, artificial intelligence, recently anyways. And so that's also aligned with Neuralink, one of his companies. And so the bottom line is that attention is driving the vehicle. You can drive. Oh, we're still recording. Okay, so you can drive a vehicle with attention, which is what Neuralink does. It helps people to do that, and it gives people abilities. So therefore, it's like something I wanted to make for older people is a walker that allows people to stand up straight, as straight as possible, because they slouch when they use the walker, which is ironic because they're leaning forward to try to use a walker. So I want to try to invent or build or use capabilities I can get to be able to make a walker where people can walk upright and be able to lean back as opposed to leaning forward, which actually strains their back and makes their posture curve forward, which is negative and derogatory, obviously. So yeah, more things like that to come. That's what DINKY TehC and Change for Game Studios, how we want to try to get into manufacturing as time goes on, and the more manufacturing capabilities become available and such things through 3D printing. We want to make more toys like a hovercraft, even like a wheelchair in essence, like a hovercraft, like a wheelchair that has like a blow up balloons underneath it, so people can, like with older people, can sit around and they can float around, as opposed to even having like a jarring little wheelchair that has bumps and bruises and things, like when it goes over cracks, but have a fun experience like a little wheelchair with like a hovercraft capabilities, and also like that walker was mentioned. But primarily it's relevant to be able to acknowledge that all people are using attention to be able to control these transformer vehicles. And that's the future, basically. It's to be able to tune attention. It's to be able to tune attention, because there's the physical, which is the outside world, and there's also the internal world. It's the internal and the external world, external and the internal world that controls the future, basically. So you have both things. So you have, like, if you're an older person, hopefully can continue to reverse aging. Those technologies hopefully can come about. So every person with a mind in the world can continue to be a participant in this global philanthropy energy grid. And hopefully older people can continue to reverse aging, and also they can get better physical tools to be able to move around in the world in a more physical way, but then also mentally, like Neuralink, they can control their vehicles in a more efficient fashion, and they can mentally use AR and VR to be able to control their vehicles, their portfolios, to be able to create more value for the whole world. And this is what global giving games, this is what philanthropy energy games are all about, because old people want to play too. They don't want to sit around necessarily, and they have active minds and brains, and they all can be continually become assets, and everybody in the world can become assets more so when we collectively move together and work together, as that we're more so obligated to in the future, because philanthropy energy and philanthropy is the fuel of the future. It's the fuel of the future when we've got no other options and nothing else left, when like a lot of things have become dwindled and resources change and shift in a dramatic fashion, because of the fact that technology expands at such a rapid, evolutionary, and exponentially growing pace and rate and fashion and such things. So we need to combine our physical and our internal and augmented reality and virtual reality spaces to all tune into philanthropy energy being the best, most optimized process, so that all humans have the best experience possible, so that they can also want to contribute the most and best to the family, the global family, as best as possible, so that we're all trying to win together, to be able to win for each other, so that this mentality and the distribution of assets can distribute to all humans as best as possible, and people are not left out. People are not left out, because that goes against the purpose of money to begin with. After all, it's more value creation with philanthropy energy, more philanthropy energy created, more toys being developed, and basically the way to use the entrepreneurship philanthropy energy transformer suit is to be able to get a job. So you get a job, some kind. Everybody's got to get a job to have like base income, basically. But on the back end of that, you invest and you sell. You sell things in your free time, and you invest in your free time. You make your business on your free time, but you do that to be able to try to continue to benefit the philanthropy energy grid by giving to certain philanthropy energy causes, and that's what develops a brand, and that's what develops the greatest sales potential, like online, that can travel the farthest and such things, by just trying. You have to try. Everybody's got to try, because you can do it for fun. That's the whole purpose of the transformer suit, is it causes the ability just to go up, because you either learn how to get closer to sales, or you actually make sales just by trying. And everybody has to try. Everybody can try, is what I meant to say. Everybody can try. That's the purpose of the transformer suit, is to be able to transform your world by using the transformer suit and all the tools that are out there to become not just a human, but step into the transformer suit and use all the tools that are out there. All the tools that are out there connect to entrepreneurship. That's what grows people, because you have your job, you have to have something for income. Sometimes you got to work and do menial jobs to do this, that, the other thing, and that's relevant, and that's purposeful, and that's necessary sometimes. So you have a job, that's the base, and then you can sell things and you can invest on top of that. But you have to do that wildly. You have to do that to learn and earn. If you lose a little bit, then you have to be able to invest just the amount that you're willing to lose. You have to be able to invest just the amount that you're willing to lose. Like if you put a quarter into an arcade machine, you know you're going to lose that quarter, but you played the game and you enjoyed it and you had fun. And entrepreneurship is a lot more fun. It's a lot more fun because it's real life. It's IRL, trying to win. That's the nature of entrepreneurship. It's just like an arcade game, but you expect to lose the quarter, but you can get more back. That's the only game in the world that you can do this. And you also give philanthropy energy to the world. This is the purpose of this whole game. So please hear the underlining core messages and the necessities for the 8 billion transformer suits to be able to continue to win in this world, and continue to try to expand this message, try to continue to spin this message, try to continue to distribute this message, so that the world can continue to try to come together and let DINKY Tech and Change for Game Studios, the brand, try to continue to add value to the whole world by continuing to grow as a brand ourselves, and continue to try to help support the global philanthropy energy grid to be able to connect all human beings as like a significant form of currency for all human beings to be able to benefit from. And just by acknowledging this philanthropy energy grid exists to begin with, because it already exists. We're just trying to bring it out and attach 8 billion transformer suits to it, so that everybody has that ability to step forward and above their job that they already have, knock out and cut out and exit from toxic toxic activities such as splurging, such as indulging, and such as those are like, that's like addiction. That's like addiction. Indulgence, not acknowledging, not researching, not doing, and not understanding what you can do with your money beyond earning a certain amount of money. Exiting the mentality once you exit a job is very toxic. It's like an addiction. It's like spending money, wasting money on shopping. It's like an addiction. If you cannot leave a job and then understand that you want to keep your bills minimal, and then increase your spending into assets, increase your ability to try to sell things. You have two hands. One is to try to sell things to increase your value of your transformer suit. The other hand is to invest things. So you sell things on one hand and you invest things on the other hand. You sell things on one hand, you invest things on the other hand. And that's the way the transformer suit wants you to operate. Basically using those two arms to be able to continue to try to grow the value of the transformer suit, continue to try to grow your value in the world by continuing to try to leverage philanthropy and philanthropy energy at the back end of the cause that drives the transformer suit in the direction that it can go in any given direction by just using a mentality, just using attention. Like Neuralink allows people to be able to control things just with attention, just with a mentality, just with a mindset, for example. And so this is the same with the transformer suit in the future, in the present, at the current time. To be able to benefit all humanity is having a job to cover base expenses, but never splurging, never having that toxic mindset, and using the ability to understand the global philanthropy energy grid that connects all human beings to be able to leverage the ability of monetary energy to be able to spend that and spread that back into the world. That actually gives you the most potential to be able to return more and more assets back to yourself by investing what you're willing to lose, and also trying to sell more, and spending along the way to be able to spend and also be willing to lose what you're spending to try to earn more by selling, investing. Be willing to lose it. Just like putting a quarter into an arcade game, you're willing to lose it, but you know you're having fun. That's the nature of the future of the philanthropy energy, global giving games, philanthropy energy grid, the philanthropy energy grid, global philanthropy energy grid that wants all human beings to be connected by philanthropy energy. This is the nature of these games. This is the nature of the transformer suit, is that you cannot lose. It's an arbitrage transformer suit that all human beings now get because of the philanthropy energy global giving grid invented within this podcast, not just the podcast, but within the company, DINKY Tech and Change for Game Studios, at least, but it already exists. It's already out there. This grid, this philanthropy energy grid, it already exists within all of us, among all of us. It's the connection between humanity and nature and the monetary system, and humans and the monetary system. It's the connection, it's the merging, it's the merger, it's philanthropy energy. Philanthropy energy is what connects the whole thing in terms of including entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship as a game, to be able to gamify entrepreneurship and continue to merge all human beings and their best potential to be able to help each other by exiting out of the toxic mentality of splurging and indulgence and spending too much on fashion and things that are wastes of money and time and energy that then therefore are recycled into repurposed negative bad habits of the past, and instead reinvesting into the future, which is all people, looking out for all people. More or less that's about it, but we also kind of we'll just do a little plug at the end of this little podcast because we want to have like a skate shop, which is like a jewelry shop at the same time, and like make more toys and like jewelry and such things, and pre-sell those using 3D printing and such things. It's part of our hopeful ability to try to continue to attempt to make more monetary energy and sell some more things to add more continuous monetary value to our portfolio as well, in addition, and try to continue to recycle and repurpose that all back into the global philanthropy energy grid, because that's obviously the direction that we're trying to go with all these things. So continue to try to help promote us and help promote each other in the world by continuing to focus on these things, focus on these mentalities and these abilities for all people to connect in this way, in this fashion, for all philanthropy energy to be able to emit from all people in all the 8 billion transformer suits that are out there for all people to win from. There is no ability to lose by acknowledging and stepping into these transformer suits for everybody, all 8 billion people all around the world, 100%, to be able to step forward and acknowledge the abilities within the transformer suits, within entrepreneurship, within this ability to either learn or earn, no matter what you win, mentality, mindset, transformer suit with arbitrage attached. All right, thanks again, DINKY Tech. Bye, peace, bye.